A Texas brewery is facing a flood of harassment after canceling an event featuring Kyle Rittenhouse. Southern Star Brewing Company of Conroe announced on Friday that it had canceled an upcoming rally against censorship, with Rittenhouse as one of the main guests that had been booked at the brewery. So now, of course, right-wingers responded to this by saying, "Oh, I can't believe you would censor a rally against censorship. Look at the censorship. So much censorship going on. Cancel culture." Now, the brewery, which had been listed as the event venue, said in a statement on Twitter that it is an apolitical organization, but felt that this event did not reflect their values and could not in good faith continue to rent out space for the event. They said, quote, on Twitter, "We don't do rallies. We make beer for people who like beer." Okay. And look, by the way, this wasn't just Kyle Rittenhouse coming to do like a motivational speech. This is a very political organization that had also brought on Kyle Rittenhouse to do a very political speech against the media. So I could understand why this brewery is like, "Oh, I don't want to get involved." All right. And look, according to CEO Dave Fogerin, said on Saturday morning during an interview that the cancellation has caused the brewery some problems. Quote, "It's been kind of a shitstorm. It's crazy that we're getting threats from people." Is it though? Is it really crazy? Considering, again, this person, CEO, describes himself as non-political, right? Apolitical. He's like, I don't know. I don't really pay attention to the politics, man. Well, if you did, you would know that a lot of right-wing people who are insane. And I guess you're finding out firsthand the insanity. Now, let me give you some information about the event to show how it was absolutely divisive. The event organizer is Defiance Press, which is a Conroe-based publisher behind such titles, including Corona Fascism and a biography praising Joe Arpaio, the former Maricopa County, Arizona sheriff, who had refused a judge's order to stop racial profiling by his department. So, judge says, "Hey, you should stop racially profiling people, dude." And he's like, "No, my freedom to racially profile you. If you're a Mexican." Okay, so and this group is like, "That's our guy. We love this guy. We're going to do a glowing biography on him." A little divisive, but it gets better. Defiance Press describes itself as active in the fight against censorship through publishing conservative books, which have been widely censored from mainstream media, according to their, their point of view. Now, some of the stuff that they talk about is called Texit, which is basically a movement to have Texas secede from the United States. Again, seems a little divisive, just a little bit. They published these materials that support a secessionist movement. And in fact, the January 6th event was set to include the leader of Texit. Not exactly the people that you would want in speaking at your brewery if you want to sell beer to everybody. I'm just saying. Now, Fogerin said this: "Now I'm more certain than ever that I made the right decision." Once he found out how insane these people are, he's like, "Whoa, oh, yeah, no, wow. I'm glad I canceled this one." Oh, wow. How did this event even get scheduled? I mean, that's an important question, right? Now, Fogerin said that he wasn't aware until a few days ago that the event's special guest was Kyle Rittenhouse. Rittenhouse, of course, polarizing figure. Whether or not you think it was self-defense or you agree with the court or not, he shot and killed two people. That's what he's known for. Like, that's literally his claim to fame on the right wing. Is that, yeah, he shot and killed 2 people and got acquitted for it. Yeah. Well, look, 2 people are dead. One's maimed. Rittenhouse is a public figure as a result. And by the way, he's considered a folk hero for many in the right wing. And he's been using his own celebrity status now in order to go after the media, saying that their opinion of him during the trial, the trial where he was on trial for shooting and killing 2 people, which absolutely did happen, shot and killed them, okay? He thinks that the media is the one that should be censored for having an opinion. Ah, right. Okay. But I'm against cancel culture. Now, here's what he said about this. Quote, "It's really disappointing to see that places continue to censor me and not allow my voice and many other voices to be heard because they bend to the woke crowd."
The wokers.
It's always the wokeness. That's the wokeness. By the way, it's noted that Rittenhouse posted this to his nearly 1 million Twitter followers. I'm being censored and canceled and silenced to my giant crowd of 1 million people. Yeah, okay, dude, you're such a victim. I know. Other high-profile right-wing accounts accused the Brewery of censorship, because of course they did. Now, here's the thing. The Brewery is a private business. They have the right to host whoever the hell they want, or not host. I don't think it's censorship for a private company to say, hey, look, we're just not interested in doing this overtly political rally at our brewery. We're just not interested in it. Like, sorry. Do they not have the right to refuse to give people a venue? Especially if they don't share their values? I mean, should they be forced to allow everyone to be able to do rallies? Neo-Nazis, for example. Should they be forced to have neo-Nazi rallies there? What about QAnoners? Should they be forced to have QAnoners? What about, look at the other extreme of the spectrum. Should they be forced to have Stalinists there? No, they shouldn't be forced to do any of those things. And not wanting to do that does not mean you're being censored. Where is the line? Where is the line? But that said, getting back to what Kyle called the woke mob. Oh, it's a pressure from the woke mob. Well, Fogerin said, actually, there wasn't a woke mob. Nobody said anything except for my patrons. In fact, it was the people that generally frequent that brewery, their customers, that were a little uncomfortable. They said, look, there wasn't a woke mob. Our distributors didn't say anything. It was just the people there. And look, here's the thing. I didn't know anything about this. Most people didn't. Most news outlets didn't report it. No one on the left cared about what Kyle Rittenhouse was up to. Really. Honestly, we all want to forget about this guy. And for a few blissful months, we did. He didn't exist. He was somewhere else. But well, here we go. Now he's back in the news. And so, look, what happened is the right wing lionizes him. They want to keep him around as a figure. He wants to be a public figure because that's the only thing that's going for him right now. Honestly, the only accomplishment he has in his life is killing 2 people and being on trial for it, being acquitted for it. So the right wing's like, okay, well, yeah, we're going to make this guy a celebrity, keep him around. We're going to invite him to podcasts and events. We're going to invite him to the RNC, one of those conventions, and, and apparently invite him to secession rallies. But they're supposedly against censorship, though. When I claim that, I wouldn't really, our goal of this rally is, of course, to say that how dare you censor me from wanting to do a civil war, because that's what would happen if Texas would secede or any state would secede. Okay, all right. But anyway, what happens is that they look for this controversy. And when it happens, they can go claim, oh, look, censorship, censorship, censorship. We're the victim, we're the victim, we're the victim. Fogelgren said that concerns from the local patrons led to his decision, saying that they were not comfortable with this event. Fogelgren also described himself as apolitical and said his brewery, which produces well-known local craft beers, strives to be a place that is welcoming to all. Quote, our place is super inclusive. We are super pro-veteran. We are super pro-law enforcement. We're trying to be good people in the community. We're friends with our firefighters, with our police department. We have a lot of gay patrons who come in because it's a place of inclusivity. We're just trying to get along with everybody. And we don't want to go near Kyle Rittenhouse because he's incredibly divisive. I get it. I understand why. Now, there's an irony here, though. In not hosting the event, they elevated it and gave Rittenhouse something that's far more valuable than a speaking engagement there. He gets the narrative. The woke mob has canceled me again. It's the wokers!
The wokers!
Now send me the money. Give me the attention. We need it. We need it. And understand that the right wing has a specific network set up to amplify conservative grievance. They realize they can get a lot more attention when something bad happens to them. So, they scream and cry about censorship and they scream and cry about cancel culture more so, than if he's allowed to speak. Because if he was allowed to speak there or held his little event, like 2 people would cover it and be like, oh, yeah, okay, Rittenhouse talked to like 12 people at this, at this brewery. No one cares. And what they want is the outrage. What they want is the controversy. They want to get canceled so they can cry. When they get aggrieved, their media, right-wing media, loves to make a story out of it. And then when they make a story out of it, everyone makes a story out of it. I'm making a story out of it. So again, this is what happens. This is a cottage industry that they have set up for aggrievement. And it's very, very beneficial to them to run this racket. Now, that said, I'm not saying I disagree with the owner in this decision. I think it's the right decision. Because again, I think any business is not going to want to host someone who is that divisive. And, of course, to listen to your patrons and they say, we're not interested in this event. But I am also pointing out, again, there is an irony here. And it's because of the unfortunate effect of the current media atmosphere in this country where conservatives are going out of their way looking for perpetual victimhood.